Cory Trepanier's Into the Arctic video journals. Brought to you in part by Eureka for Life Outdoors and by Merrill. Let's get outside.
The Arctic in January. Frigid temperatures can freeze your skin on contact. It's a dark place, which might be the clue that, in fact, I'm not in the Arctic. I'm actually back in Caledon, Ontario, in the off-season of our Into the Arctic project, doing some work in the studio, trying to complete some of these paintings that I began on our 2006 journey. In this next series of video journals, I hope to share a little bit about the creative process back in the studio, where I'll be working on completing the paintings that I began in the Arctic wilderness. Come on, Pop. Get things warmed up a little bit here. First things first, get comfortable, a little music on, and I sit and have a look at this piece that I began many, many miles from here, and realize what an awesome privilege it is to be able to work at something like this, which for me brings me back to being on location, to sitting here on the edge of this cliff overlooking the Brock River Canyon. In this case, having my family not too far from me as I overlook this incredible valley. As you'll see in the next shot, I've started to darken some of the main tones in the area, trying to set up the full contrast of the painting, where the passages of light will be coming through the valley here. And I generally work very rough like this, trying not to tighten up until a little later on, as I feel it's so much more important to try to establish a mood in a painting than to just add detail. Detail means nothing if it's not based upon a structure and forms that have strong negative and positive elements in it. As you can see in the background, I have some reference that I've shot. Everything I shoot these days is digital. I recently brought this large monitor in here, which is great in helping to recreate the experience of being there. I can sit here and overlook the valley through a slew of photographs that I took at different times of day. So using this reference helps to jog my memory and bring back the locked-in images that are in my mind from having been there. I'm just going to mix some darker colors here and try to bring out a few more edges and define the shapes within the painting a bit more. I find if I don't at some point sit back and bring definition to the piece as I'm working on it, that it just feels like I start to lose control of it. I like to come back in and every once in a while reorganize the piece a little bit. I find myself very tempted to get into every little nook and cranny that is in these rocks, but it'd be very easy to get sucked into that and lose sight of the bigger picture and trying to really focus on the mood and the atmosphere of what caught my attention here in the first place. So I'm trying to keep the brush moving a little quickly here. I have no set form for doing this, I just go at it and eventually hope that something will evolve and grow out of the canvas in front of me that somehow captures how I felt when I was sitting here, taking in the scene so majestic, especially being so removed from civilization. I feel like I'm one of very few people to have ever had a chance to set foot and paint in this remote part of Canada.